What if the reason you feel tired all the time isn't your sleep? What if the bloating, the brain fog, the swollen ankles, the constant fatigue, what if none of that is random? Because here's something most people never get told. Your kidneys are silent. Organs, they don't send pain signals until they're already in serious trouble. By the time most people realize something is wrong, the damage has been building for years. Right now, as you watch this, your kidneys are either thriving or they're struggling under a load they were never designed to carry alone. And the scary part? The warning signs are so ordinary that most people dismiss them entirely. But I need you to stay with me, because what I'm about to share changes everything. 5 spices sitting in kitchens all over the world, and almost nobody knows what they're actually doing inside your body. Number 3 is going to stop you cold, because you've probably used it this week and had no idea it was doing this. Let me give you a number that should make you pause. 1 in 7. That's how many adults right now have some form of chronic kidney disease, according to the National Kidney Foundation. That's tens of millions of people, and the vast majority of them have no idea. Because the kidneys don't warn you. Not early, not loudly. They compensate quietly until they can't anymore. And the medical system? It's excellent at treating kidney disease after it progresses. But almost nobody talks about what you can do before that point. In the daily, ordinary decisions you make at your table, in your kitchen, in the way you eat. That's what today is about. What you're going to learn is grounded in published research and nutritional science. This is not medical advice. This is the information that too often gets buried. 5 specific spices, what they actually do, what the science says, and exactly how to use them. This is for informational purposes. Please always consult your doctor before making changes to your health routine. Now, if this is the kind of content you want more of, subscribe before we go any further. We do this every week. Let's get into it. Here's a question nobody asks you at a checkup. How much inflammation is quietly running through your body right now? Not the kind you feel, the invisible kind. The chronic, low-grade, silent inflammation that researchers now link to nearly every major disease, including kidney failure, and this is where turmeric becomes something far more than a cooking spice. Turmeric contains a compound called curcumin, and curcumin has been studied in over 12,000 published papers. That's not marketing. That's decades of scientists asking, why does this work? Here's the kidney connection that most people completely miss. Your kidneys contain millions of microscopic blood vessels called glomeruli. These are the actual filtration units, the real workers, and they are extraordinarily sensitive to inflammation. When chronic inflammation hits these vessels, filtration efficiency drops, quietly, gradually, often without a single symptom until the damage is significant. Studies published in the Journal of Renal Nutrition found that curcumin supplementation was associated with measurable reductions in inflammatory markers in patients with chronic kidney disease. The researchers observed improvements in kidney function indicators that were difficult to ignore. Here's how to picture it. Your kidneys are a high-precision filter, like the finest mesh you've ever seen. Inflammation is rust. Slow, invisible, relentless rust. Curcumin, research suggests, may be one of the most effective natural compounds we have for slowing that process. What do you do with this? Half a teaspoon of turmeric daily in warm water, in eggs, in soups. Crucially, combine it with black pepper. Research indicates that piperine in black pepper can increase curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. Without it, most curcumin passes right through you. If you're on blood thinners or have existing kidney disease, speak with your doctor before significantly increasing turmeric. This matters. But now, what I'm about to tell you about the next spice is something that most people have genuinely never connected to kidney health, because everyone thinks it's just for digestion. They're wrong. Ask someone what ginger is good for and they'll say, nausea, digestion, Maybe a cold. Almost nobody says kidneys. But here's the thing you need to understand, and once you do, you'll never. Look at ginger the same way again. Your kidneys don't just need clean blood. They need moving blood, constant, pressurized, high-volume blood flow. Because the filtration process is physically demanding. When circulation slows, when blood vessels tighten, inflame, or constrict, the kidneys start operating under conditions they were never designed to handle. And that's exactly where ginger enters in a way most people never see coming. Ginger contains active compounds called gingerols and shogaols. Studies indicate these compounds have measurable vasodilatory effects, meaning they help blood vessels relax and open. They also carry anti-inflammatory properties that may directly protect the vascular network feeding your kidneys. A review published in Phytotherapy Research highlighted ginger's ability to reduce serum creatinine levels, a key marker of kidney stress, and lower oxidative damage markers in models of renal injury. Human trials are ongoing, but the signal is strong enough that integrative medicine practitioners have been recommending this for years. Think of it this way. Your kidneys are a water treatment plant. The blood vessels feeding them are the pipes. Ginger helps keep those pipes open, flexible, and flowing, so the plant can do its job without fighting the infrastructure. 1 inch of fresh ginger, hot water, 10 minutes. A squeeze of lemon. Every morning. That's it. That's the habit. If you're on blood pressure medication or blood thinners, check with your doctor first. Now, number 3. I need you to really pay attention here because this one hit me differently when I first dug into the research. You've almost certainly used this spice within the last few days. And what it's doing at a cellular level? Almost nobody talks about this. What is the single biggest driver of kidney failure in the world? Not toxins, not infection, blood sugar. Diabetes is responsible for approximately 40% of all kidney failure cases globally. 40%? And it's not just diagnosed diabetics who need to worry, it's anyone whose blood sugar spikes and crashes throughout the day. Which, in the modern diet, is most people. Here's the mechanism, and this is the part most people never hear. When blood sugar runs high consistently, sugar molecules begin to bind to proteins inside your kidney tissue in a process called glycation. Essentially, your kidney structures are being slowly caramelized from the inside. The filtration membranes stiffen, the tiny vessels harden, function drops. This happens silently over years. And cinnamon, ordinary cinnamon, sitting in your cabinet may be one of the most accessible tools you have to slow this process. Studies indicate that cinnamon improves insulin sensitivity and moderates the sharp post-meal blood sugar spikes that drive this damage. Research published in Diabetes Care showed that 1-6 grams of cinnamon daily improved fasting blood glucose and lipid markers in type 2 diabetics. The kidney implication is direct. Less glycation, less vascular damage, less strain on the filtration system, doing its job 24 hours a day. Picture your bloodstream after a high-sugar meal like a highway during rush hour, total gridlock. Cinnamon acts like a traffic management system. It doesn't eliminate the traffic, but it keeps it moving. Orderly, controlled, so the damage doesn't accumulate. Half a teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon, not cassia, which carries compounds that may stress the liver at higher doses, in your oatmeal, your coffee, your smoothie every morning. That's the move. Managing diabetes with medication? Talk to your doctor. This matters more than people realize. We are exactly halfway through, and I need you to stay with me right now, because points 4 and 5 are the two that I personally think most people have the least awareness about. One of them is something most people literally throw away. The other one, almost every culture in the world has used medicinally for thousands of years, and modern science is now explaining exactly why. If this is connecting for you, leave a comment right now. Tell me, are you dealing with any of the symptoms I mentioned at the top? Fatigue, bloating, brain fog? You might be surprised how many people watching this are experiencing the same thing. Stay through the end. I'm giving you a simple daily spice protocol in the summary that ties all 5 of these together into one practical routine you can start tomorrow. Let me ask you something. When parsley comes on your plate, what do you do with it? If you push it aside or throw it away, you need to hear this. Parsley is arguably the most underestimated herb in the world for kidney support. And the reason most people don't know this is because it's been treated as decoration for so long that its actual function has been forgotten. Parsley contains 2 key compounds, apigenin and myristicin, that research suggests act as natural diuretics, meaning they support the kidneys in actively flushing excess fluid, waste, and metabolic byproduct from the body. More efficient output, less accumulation, less pressure on an organ that's already working at maximum capacity every single hour of your life. A study in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology documented parsley's traditional use across more than 30 cultures, specifically for kidney and urinary tract support, and noted measurable diuretic activity in controlled models. 30 cultures, not 1. 30. That's not coincidence. That's pattern recognition across thousands of years of human observation. Think of parsley as adjusting the flow rate on your body's internal plumbing system. The kidneys are constantly pushing waste toward the exit. Parsley helps ensure the pipes don't back up. Here's how to use it. Take a small handful of fresh parsley, stems and all steep in hot water for 10 minutes, let it cool slightly, and drink it through the day like a gentle tea. You can also blend it raw into smoothies or eat it generously as part of meals. This is one of the simplest free upgrades most people never consider. One important note, if you have kidney stones or are on diuretic medications, please consult your doctor before using concentrated parsley regularly. More output is only helpful when it's managed safely. Now, number 5, the last one. And this one works on a level that none of the others do. It goes deeper, right down to the cellular damage that most people never even know is happening. Right now, inside your kidneys, there is a war happening. Free radicals, unstable molecules generated by inflammation, environmental toxins, metabolic waste, and the simple act of living in a modern world. They attack kidney tissue. They damage the structural proteins. They degrade the filtration membrane. And they do it constantly, invisibly, without a single symptom until the cumulative damage becomes impossible to ignore. This is oxidative stress, and it is one of the primary mechanisms behind progressive kidney disease. Garlic, raw, crushed garlic, releases a compound called allicin. And allicin is one of the most studied natural antioxidant compounds in scientific literature. Research suggests it may actively neutralize free radicals before they cause structural damage to kidney cells. A study in phytomedicine found that garlic extract reduced markers of oxidative kidney injury and significantly lowered inflammatory cytokines in subjects experiencing early kidney stress. The implications of that finding are enormous, because it means the damage can potentially be slowed at the source. Here's the image I want you to hold. If your kidneys are a high-performance engine, oxidative stress is what happens when you run that engine without oil. Parts grind, surfaces wear, efficiency collapses. Garlic, its allicin specifically, is like a high-grade protective lubricant operating at the cellular level. 1-2 cloves, raw, crushed. And here's the part almost nobody knows. Let them sit for 10 full minutes after crushing before you eat them. That waiting period is when allicin actually forms. Skip it, and you lose most of the benefit. Add to dressings, mix into food, or swallow with water if the taste is overwhelming. Blood thinners? Talk to your doctor. This one specifically interacts with several common medications. Let's land this. Your kidneys are not optional. They are not backup organs. They are filtering 200 liters of your blood every day, and they have been doing it quietly, without complaint, since the day you were born. And most people are giving them nothing in return. Turmeric, Curcumin attacks the chronic inflammation that slowly destroys kidney tissue from the inside. Don't forget the black pepper. Ginger opens and protects the blood vessels that your kidneys depend on for every single filtration cycle. Cinnamon neutralizes the blood sugar chaos that is silently glycating your kidney structures right now, today, with every high-sugar meal. Parsley, the herb you've been discarding, actively supports your kidneys in flushing waste before it accumulates into something serious. Garlic goes to war against the oxidative stress attacking your kidney cells at the molecular level, every hour, without pause. None of these replace medicine. None of these replace your doctor. But the difference between kidneys that are fighting for their life and kidneys that are operating with support, that difference is built in ordinary daily choices. Small, consistent, real. Your body is not fragile. It is extraordinarily resilient. But resilience has a limit, and that limit is determined by what you give it to work with. And that limit is determined by what you give it to work with. Start today. One spice, one habit, one choice. That's how this works. If you watch this. You're exactly the kind of person this channel is built for. Hit subscribe, because every week we go this deep on topics that affect your health in ways most people never get explained to them. Not in a waiting room, not in a 10-minute appointment. Here, clearly, with the science behind it. Then leave a comment. I want to know, which one of these 5 genuinely surprised you? Was it the cinnamon glycation link? A study in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology documented parsley's traditional use across more than 30 cultures specifically for kidney and urinary tract support and noted measurable diuretic activity in controlled models. 30 cultures, not one. 30. That's not coincidence. That's pattern recognition across thousands of years of human observation. Think of parsley as adjusting the flow rate on your body's internal plumbing system. The kidneys are constantly pushing waste toward the